Good morning. I do have a prepared statement, so I'll try to get as close to that 3 minutes as I can. Good morning, Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Hinkle, Commissioner Treecoff, staff, guests. I am Jason Young. I am a nearly 4-decade resident of Harrison County. Today, I rise before you to bring an introduction and an invitation from an organization that I have become deeply invested in.
Okay, just put anything
In
metal in that.
January, a board of my peers, whom I deeply respect, nominated and elected me to be the chair of the Cultural Foundation of Harrison County. And I am joined by board member Paul Jones here this morning. The Cultural Foundation of Harrison County is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to enriching the community by cultivating a thriving and vibrant arts scene. We believe that the arts are essential for a well-rounded life and play a crucial role in economic development. To serve as a bridge between the communities of Harrison County and its artists and artistic organizations through funding, through advocacy, and community enrichment. We champion the creation, exploration, and appreciation of diverse artistic expressions while fueling artistic, cultural, and economic growth throughout the region. We are a completely volunteer board, 13 members. We fundraise through public and private donations and events in order to distribute those funds back into the community in the form of grants and scholarships. This year, we are granting over $40,000 in community arts projects grants that take place here in Harrison County. We are also offering 2 $1,000 scholarships to students from Harrison County who are pursuing majors or minors in the arts at the university level. And these scholarships are renewable for up to 4 years. We offer 2 grant cycles a year, fall and spring. Applications for grants and scholarships are currently being received via our website, and the deadline for scholarship applications is April 30, while the deadline for grant applications is May 15. Now, in the past, we have funded artists, arts organizations, and arts projects in nearly every municipality in Harrison County, and that's over 50 years of Cultural Foundation funding. Harrison County has a rich tradition of excellence and achievement in the arts, and we are proud to be a part of that tradition through these continued funding opportunities. The Cultural Foundation of Harrison County is also the humble stewards of the Barbara B. Hyland Fund for the Arts, a fund that we utilize to bring incredible arts and culture experiences to Harrison County that could not otherwise happen but for the generosity, the incredible generosity and legacy of Barbara B. Hyland. I'm going to run a very quick list of recent events that the Hyland Fund has sponsored. The national tour of Chicago's Second City, the Tony Award-winning Broadway musical On Your Feet. We sponsored the very first visit of Mountain Stage to Harrison County, the Smithsonian Jazz Masterworks Orchestra, Chanticleer, Take 3, Chaz Palminteri and A Bronx Tale, the Losers Cirque, which came to us from the Czech Republic, the Martin Melaton Piano Duo, which came to us from Spain, and most recently, the acting company's production of August Wilson's Two Trains Running, and just a week or so ago, NEA Jazz Master, Grammy Award winner, and Tony nominee Branford Marsalis tore up the Robinson Grand Stage. And upcoming yet unannounced events include visits this fall from the New York Theater Ballet, the Canadian Brass Quintet, and author David Sedaris. Now, the Cultural Foundation also utilizes the Hyland Fund for the Arts to provide the annual Wheeling Celebrate America concert at the Clarksburg Amphitheater. This year's free concert will take place on July the 3rd. So that is the introduction. And the invitation is this. We, the Cultural Foundation of Harrison County, exist to serve you, the citizens and the municipalities within Harrison County. We are poised and prepared to be agents of positive change and thought leaders as you deal with sometimes complicated cultural issues. We are poised and prepared to be a connector and an advocate on your behalf with other communities and counties across the state and with statewide arts organizations that could benefit Harrison County.
Are you almost done, Jason?
I am almost done.
Okay.
We are poised and prepared to be a funding partner, receiving funds from the county in order to redistribute them to artists and arts organizations in the county. And we are poised and prepared to be a partner in the enhancement of the vibrancy and economy in this county. But please remember, and here's the important part, so I'll slow down just a little bit. We are only useful if we are used. And folks, we are essentially your arts council. Yet we have no active or ongoing relationship or means of continued communication that allows you, the county commission, to leverage the Cultural Foundation as the force for transformational change that we can be. And I'm hoping that this comment to you is just the beginning, and we can find time where we can figure out how we can work together to make cool stuff happen and benefit our communities. Harrison County is already a great place to live, to work, and to raise a family, but we know that we can help make it even more vibrant. So please do not hesitate to contact me, and thank you for my extra time.
Well, you were interrupted and I apologize for that.
Oh, no worries. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Jason. Okay, John Elko.
Good morning, Commissioners, Mr. Simmons, Laura. My name is John Elka with the West Milford Fire Department. I believe all of you got a picture in front of you. On March the 28th of this year, we were involved in a catastrophic accident. I was the driver of that vehicle. Thank God no one was killed. People ask me, why were you on the interstate? Well, we was helping out. And what it is, Lost Creek did not have anybody to respond. Second due, Jane Lou, did not have anybody to respond. Stonewood, the third due in, had two people. One paid man that they have at Stonewood. The other is a self-employed professional. Myself, we were fourth due in. And I'm retired. The other guy with me is a professional surveyor. It was a rainy day. He had some time. That's all we had. So I've told you before, we need help. I've come to you, probably been about 4 years ago. I gave you a program that's working in Berkeley County, Jefferson County, and I was hoping that we could have been on the forefront of that. They just added 12 more people to their list of what they have in Berkeley County. I'm not saying we need to do the same thing, but I won't say we, because I can't speak for the others, but us at the West Milford Fire Department, we need help. People don't volunteer anymore, at least not in our stage. So, I mean, you can take a look at the picture. I'm not saying the outcome would have been any different, but we need help. We need to get more people out there. I, have tried to get this program going. I've tried to get on the agenda here and I can't. Nobody returns my calls. Nobody works with me. I've tried calling Laura. I get no return. So I'm kind of out of it. I don't know what else to do. I've been doing this for 46 years for free. Legal counsel told me at one of our meetings, you all need to quit doing this for free. And I still have a love for it, but I'm about done. I mean, what happened to me was unreal. I mean, hopefully none of you ever have to go through that. And thank God that none of us was hurt. But the fire service in Harrison County needs help. This is a nationwide problem. This isn't in West Milford. This isn't in Harrison County only. It's in the state. It's in every state. So I was kind of hoping that we can do something to make a difference. I mean, the people in the county, they deserve it. The Harrison County Emergency Squad went from all volunteer to paid in 1990. Several years ago, they figured out we can't do this no more. And they're 100% paid now. And I'm not saying you don't have volunteer policemen. You have a paid staff, and I applaud you for that. But the fire service it needs help. So if I can, at some time, Laura told me she wants to have a meeting with me to where maybe we can work on something. And I hope we can, because it's, like I said, I don't think the outcome will be any different from what we had, but we need help. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Okay. Anyone on Zoom wish to speak publicly? Anyone on Zoom? Anyone on Zoom wish to speak publicly? Hearing none, we will move on to 10:05, proclamation for child advocacy. You could find, and it's real glass. I'm not gonna start until you guys get up here. Okay. Whereas child abuse is a complex and ongoing problem in our society, affecting great numbers of children in Harrison County, and whereas every child is entitled to be loved, cared for, nurtured, secure, and free from sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional and verbal abuse, and neglect. And whereas child abuse prevention is a community responsibility and finding solutions depends on involvement among all people. And whereas Harrison County has dedicated individuals and organizations who work daily to prevent the program of child abuse and neglect and to help parents obtain the support they need to raise their children in safe, nurturing environment. And you can see this is probably a portion, but it's a lot of people that are involved. Whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships among community members, agencies, schools, religious organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. And whereas the local communities are requested to join in demonstrating their commitment to protecting children and to send a clear message that the criminal and sexual victimization of our children will not be tolerated. Now therefore be it resolved that the Harrison County Commission does hereby proclaim the month of April 2025 as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Be it further resolved, the Harrison County Commission calls upon all citizens to increase their participation in efforts to prevent child abuse and strengthen the community in which we live by supporting the established framework for a comprehensive strategy to address all forms of child abuse and neglect, passed by the County Commission of Harrison County, West Virginia, the 16th day of April 2025, and it is signed by all three of your county commissioners. You have as long.
I'm Patty Saunders. I'm with Heroes Haven Child Advocacy Center, and we cannot do our services without a team, without a community. We have law enforcement, we have prosecution, we have CASA, we have CPS, we have our agency, Heroes Haven Child Advocacy Center. We have board members here, and so I wanted to take this time to really recognize Harrison County and their steps in movement in child abuse. Many of you may have not known this, but 35 years ago, a group of community people came together to form Harrison County Child Abuse Task Force. And those people worked evenings and weekends and wrote grants to provide services that they were seeing lacking in Harrison County. They actually started the first multidisciplinary investigation team before it became law in West Virginia. They created Harrison County CASA, and then 20 years ago, they created Harrison County Child Advocacy Center that is now known as Heroes Haven Child Advocacy Center. That is all here in Harrison County. You guys should be very proud of the movements for the children. They have made long strides, even since I've been in the Child Advocacy Center. I've seen increasing services and really the team coming together. So I want to grant this proclamation to Terry Walker. On a board, he was one of those that started 35 years ago. retention of them, motivation, and heart. So, be proud of Harrison County, proud of the people that work in Harrison County. And honestly, just like Mr. Thomas said, it is child abuse prevention month for everyone. All the hot ones, even if you're second guessing yourself. That's what we call it. Thank you. I've worked for the department, it's my fourth and first year working for the department. My whole career has been in child services. So it's my passion. And I was one of the members that started, the Harrison County Child Abuse Network and, foster program and the Child Advocacy Center. So I've been very much involved and, so it's my passion.
All right, here we go. One, two, one more. Right.
Thank you all,
Thank
every one of you.
you guys.
But Terry gets a little extra kudos. Terry gets a little extra kudos.
Yeah. I'm the defense.
Thank you.
Okay, next will be Hope Inc.
Well, what you mean?
Harrison County recognizes the importance of a designation of time devoted to increasing the general public's awareness of sexual violence, celebrating the courage of victims, survivors, and recognizing the tireless efforts of sexual assault program advocates throughout the state. And whereas West Virginia sexual assault programs offer professionals and supporters have joined, other professionals and supporters have joined together as the West Virginia Foundation for Rape Information and Services to support each other in their work and to provide the state of West Virginia and its citizens with a central source of information on sexual assault. And whereas Hope Inc., the task force on domestic violence and sexual assault, volunteers and staff promote sexual assault prevention by offering educational services in Harrison County throughout the year. And now therefore be it resolved that the Harrison County Commission does hereby proclaim April 1st through April 30th, 2025 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Be it further resolved that the Harrison County Commission amend this observance to all citizens within Harrison County. Passed by the County Commission of Harrison County, West Virginia, this 16th day of April 2025, with it signed by all three commissioners.
You said you read us about your support, we appreciate that. And as Pat said, with the PhD, if you see something, please say something. And if you have anybody that you know that ever needs our services at Hope, then you refer them to us. We are in the board of education building for the part of the, so, okay, thank you all very much.
Telecommunicator Week.
Yay.
Because E911 public safety telecommunicators serve 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, similar to firefighters, law enforcement officers, and emergency medical service workers. Whereas 911 public safety telecommunicators make similar sacrifices in their personal lives as firefighters, law enforcement officers, and emergency medical service workers by leaving their families and friends to dispatch the emergency 911 calls that save the lives, protect the property, and ensure the safety of our community during emergency events. And whereas 911 public safety telecommunicators heroically answer 911 emergency calls around the clock, providing appropriate guidance and instruction in difficult situations, all while promptly dispatching first responders to said emergencies. And whereas 911 public safety telecommunicators must deal with the stress of answering one call after another, daily often being the voice on the other end of the call as citizens experience the worst days of their lives. They hear the cries of devastation, listen to the screams for help, and are the support as citizens cope with the emergency. Public safety telecommunicators can handle all of this at the very same time that they assist to keep emergency responders safe. Whereas this leadership enables them to partnership with all first responders and each dispatcher to exhibit compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job every day of the year. And now therefore be it resolved, the Harrison County Commission does hereby honor the men and women who serve in this crucial position and their dedication to our community. Be it further resolved, the Harrison County Commission does hereby proclaim the week of April 3rd through the 13th through the 19th, 2025, as E911 Public Safety Telecommunicator Appreciation Week, given under our hand and sealed the 16th day of April 2025, signed by all.
Could be recognized and appreciate that, and appreciate the continued working relationship with them.
Thank you all. Thank you, everybody out there. Yeah, I hope you know. Yes,
Thank you.
that means. Where are you going? That's right, Okay, whereas the National Animal Care and Control Association has designated the second full week of April as National Animal Control Officer Appreciation Week. And whereas various federal, state, and local government officials throughout the country take this time to recognize, thank, and commend all animal control officers for the dedicated service they provide to the citizens, public safety, domesticated animals, livestock, and wildlife across the nation. And believe it or not, we feel that any than we have. All, and then some, probably. Whereas the Harrison County Commission recognizes and commends the work done by the Harrison County Animal Control Officers on a daily basis for the citizens of our community. And would specifically like to recognize the following employees for their hard work. Director Animal Control, Cassie Slide. Deputy Director, Whitney Newman. And Animal Control Officers, Olivia Antorelli, correct? Did I do that right? Okay. And Stephen Cochran. Thank you all. Whereas the Harrison County Commission recognizes the animal control officers who answer calls for assistance capturing roaming and potentially dangerous animals, rescue animals in distress, investigate reports of animal cruelty and neglect, educate pet owners about responsible pet care, and mediate disputes between neighbors regarding conflicts involving animals. Now therefore be it resolved that the Harrison County Commission is hereby proclaim the week of April 13th through April 19th, 2025 as Animal Control Officer Appreciation Week. Be it further resolved that the Harrison County Commission recognizes our animal control officers for their significant service and contribution to the well-being of family and community, and encourages all citizens within Harrison County to join us in expressing sincere appreciation for the service of these efforts and all of the staff and volunteers of our animal control facility. Passed by the County Commission of Harrison County, West Virginia, the 16th day of April 2025, and signed by all three of the commission.
I do want to say, animal control has made leaps and bounds, this last year that we've had, this staff in particular. They don't get the recognition that they deserve. Everybody thinks that we're the bad guys, they keep the dogs. We're not, you know, we are a resource to the community. And if the community really knew who was behind animal control, it would be a totally different light. But with us, backing us are the commissioners and Laura, you know, they have our backs and always, and we're really appreciative of that. We wouldn't be as successful as we are without them, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's ironic, I got a message right after the meeting started. Somebody wants to know if I want another break. I just think that's. It might be, but thank you.
And if I may say one thing about this group of animal control officers, at one point in time, Harrison County had the highest euthanasia rates in the state. And now, how many months have we been? 2, 3? We're headed towards month 4 of being deemed a no-kill shelter. These officers have worked so hard trying to place these animals in rescues and getting people to foster them and adopt them. I mean, it's been a huge turnaround in the past year, and you're very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's it. Okay, number 2, consent agenda. What's the his name is on the list for the fiduciary. So that's why he stepped down. Okay. No, it's on the consent agenda. Those are on the consent agenda.
Okay.
Okay. What's the pleasure on the consent agenda?
Move to approve consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, number 3. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yep, I guess we do. 25. Okay, 1025 special funding request from American Junior Golf Association requesting $3,000 for their AJGA Junior Golf Championship. Why you here now? I know.
That's a mouthful, AJGA. Morning, thank you all for having us. Thanks for taking the time to look at our funding request. I'm Todd Trickett. I'm representing the American Junior Golf Association. 9,000 members strong in the United States. They conduct over 150 junior golf events in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Former players are such as Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth, Tiger Woods. This will be the first event in the state of West Virginia since 2009. We're bringing 78 of the greatest junior players in the nation here. We expect an economic impact of around $200,000 through hotel, restaurant, shopping. And we are also giving an opportunity to 78 mostly local and West Virginia kids to qualify for this event, which normally they wouldn't have an opportunity to get this close to this type of event without driving 5 or 6 hours. So we're proud that this will be the only one in the state of West Virginia. We have a 3-year commitment with them. We've done extensive fundraising, and at the end of the day, what we make, 50% goes to the American Junior Golf Association, to their scholarship fund, and they issue thousands of scholarships per year to young men and women golfers that are going to go to the next level and play college golf. And the other 50% of what we make stays right here in Harrison County. And that'll be up to the discretion of our committee as to how we'll disperse those funds. We're hoping to have $20,000 to $30,000 to disperse within the county to different charities, and strongly considering one young man, one young lady as college scholarships to further their golf career in their college years. But we thank you for taking the time, and thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. Motion to approve the $3,000 to the American Junior Golf Association. Is that correct, Todd?
That's correct.
Okay. Is there any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Sounds like a great program. Special funding request from Sardis Community Council requesting donations for their building and community center upkeep. So you can.
Mrs. Thomas, Mr. Hinkle, and Mr. Treecost. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to address your committee about the Sardis Community Council. My name is Sue Hurst. I have been president for 5 years and 4 months. The Community Center is a nonprofit organization, and it opened its doors about 26 years ago and was originally built by individual volunteers and a lot of businesses that donated many materials. Our income is from building rentals, 4 hot dog sales, 1 fall apple fundraiser, and donations from 2 organizations per year. We also provide the building rent-free to the Sardis Baptist Church dinners, Sardis Satellite Senior Citizen meetings, CEOS meetings, after funeral gatherings, and events that benefit our community. Our yearly insurance and monthly utilities keep going up. In 2024, these expenses totaled $3,321.40. Recently, we had an unexpected expense that had to be done immediately. This expense wiped out our building fund and a chunk of our general funds. Some of our volunteers have taken care of needed repairs, but as we have gotten older, we simply cannot do these projects anymore, although we do what we can. So now we have to ask for financial help, and it has been over 20 years since we've had to do so. We just do not have the funds for these repairs. Our roof is the most important, and it has almost at its maximum lifetime, and we hope to get it replaced as needed. My husband Bill and I have replaced and repaired 12 by 12 floor tiles as needed, but edges have been cutting and curling up for a while. And if they continue to do this, I'm afraid someone may trip on one and fall and leave us liable for a lawsuit. We are also a voting precinct, 114, and another precinct has been added, 114A, in our building. At voting time, we push everything together, making it pretty crowded, but we manage. We do have a basement, but bringing items back and forth is too much for us elderly volunteers to pull by hand uphill and around half the building, then up the ramp. So we leave what we need upstairs and we use our basement for additional storage. We have a covered concrete porch over the entrance. There is already one wall, a roof, and a floor at one end. So we had an estimate done for an 8 by 10 storage room to be added at that end with 2 outside doors. This room would protect the upstairs items and be more handy to move them out and back inside when needed. Here is a completed list, starting with the most important projects listed first. These were estimated in 2023. The roof replacement would be $14,000. 1,750 square feet of floor tiles replaced is estimated at $12,000. These 2 jobs comes to $26,000 and are the most important. An 8 by 10 storage room will cost $10,000. A half outside wall end is crumbling, which is $250. Some siding needs repairs. Those are $500. The installation of 2 bathroom vents and fans are estimated at $500. Outside mold removal by power washing estimated at $500. And this is an annual project that we take care of every year. The total cost for everything in 2023 was $37,750. We are hoping that you may be able to help our Sardis Community Center with any or all of these expenses so that we volunteers can continue to keep our doors open. Thank you for your time and consideration with our request.
Thank you, Sue.
I'd like to make a motion that we fund $10,000 towards roof replacement. And that you bring us receipt for when you get the roof replacement done so that we can reimburse that cost to you. So we will pledge $10,000 to your roof replacement.
Okay, the motion's been made for $10,000 to be contributed for the roof replacement for the building. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, 10:35, we have special funding request from Wallace Volunteer Fire Department requesting $3,000 for their homecoming days in the park event.
Good morning. We're here again this year.
Tell me who you are, Marcus.
Oh, my name's Marcus Shaw. I'm the fire chief here at Wallace Volunteer Fire Department. We come before you guys every year to ask for funding for our annual homecoming days that we do. We're asking for the normal $3,000 that we ask for every year to help us fund putting on the homecoming day celebration that we do. We use that money that we request from you to provide entertainment and food and stuff that we do. The homecoming celebration that we do is for our community. We do a thing for our community where, we have, some games and contests that we put on for the children in our community. We do a little fireman's rodeo that our children compete in. And we do, some stuff for the adults where they do like a pie baking contest and, some other games. And, we provide, entertainment. The last 2 years, we've made it a 2-day event. We were doing 3 days event, but it become pretty tiring, and we didn't really do as well on that third day, so we've cut it down to 2 days. Each year we try to make it a little bit bigger and add some more events. This year we're going to try and add a couple more events for the children and stuff. Entertainment, it gets more expensive each year, so the $3,000 has helped a lot. Food prices have went up, so the $3,000 helps with that. And we would greatly appreciate, if you could provide us with that $3,000 funding. The biggest part with this homecoming activity we do, it's really the largest activity that we do for our community. And it is a big fundraiser for the fire department. We do a lot of fundraisers throughout the year. A lot of our fundraisers are not home-based. We have to leave the area in order to make a good bit of our funding. So we don't get to do a whole lot within our community. So this more or less is our give back to the community. It's not just for us to make funds from the community, but we like to give back. So this is something that we like to do for them. Yeah, we do make a good little bit of money off of it, but it's kind of our give back to the community, something for them. So we greatly appreciate, the $3,000 funding if you was able to give back to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Questions?
No, motion to approve $3,000 for the Wallace Volunteer Fire Department for homecoming days in the park event.
Motion to approve $3,000 for the Wallace Volunteer Fire Department for homecoming days in the park event. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. Okay, I think I got everything up there. Okay, I think we are on number 3, payroll change notices. We have A through H.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I believe we need to discuss H.
Well, my motion would be to go ahead and approve A through G and H to be put on hold until we can sit down with the sheriff and discuss this hire.
Okay,
Now, commissioners, I do want to let you know, I've reached out to the sheriff. Last Thursday is when we got the payroll change notice. I texted him on Thursday. Thursday later, I sent him an email. Yesterday I texted him, and today I texted him. I've had no response.
how about till the next meeting? People.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So the motion is to approve payroll change notices A through G and hold off until the next meeting for H,
Yes,
until we
ma'am.
can talk to the sheriff. or
Yes,
somebody.
ma'am.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 4, minutes and or amended. Oh, I did have questions. No, we're not there. Yeah, we're not there yet. Yes, we are. Never mind. Sorry. Minutes and or amended minutes of previous meetings A through E. What's the pleasure?
Move to approve A, B, C, D, and E as presented.
Motion to approve 4A, B, C, D, E as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, we have number 5, requisitions, purchase orders, invoices, A, B, C, and D. What's the pleasure?
Move to approve A, B, and C. I'd like to have D as an individual. Susan, if possible.
I'm fine with that.
So my motion's to approve A, B, and C for ARPA for West Milford, Sun Valley, Sun Valley.
Okay, the motion is to approve requisitions for the ARPA funds A, B, and C, West Milford, Sun Valley, and Sun Valley. Is there any discussion on those 3 items? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that's 5A through C, passed. Now D. Ready to go? I have some questions on several.
Good.
We had a receipt and deposited into wrong fund, $43,000. I'm assuming that is for some property that was purchased and was put in the wrong fund. It should have been put obviously in the 911 fund instead of, I don't know if it was put in general county to begin with.
I think it was put in general.
But it should have went to 911 because it was an old piece of property that the county had purchased for 911, correct? Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Okay, I have, let's see. The rest of them are Parks and Rec. I have 3 quotes, I think it's 3, for inflatables for parks. Are these 3 quotes for just the equipment, or is this 3 different quotes? I guess I really don't know how to explain myself here.
This is 3 different quotes.
For one set of inflatables, or are we buying 3, or they want to buy 3 sets of inflatables?
3 sets of inflatables. They're different kinds. but each
Okay,
one-
then what's the purpose of having 3 quotes? And I don't think, is there 3 quotes even attached?
There's probably 1 quote for each one.
So I don't know if they called anywhere else and got quotes. And so we're gonna spend 9, 18, well, those are probably 10, 30-some thousand dollars on inflatables. Is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I know they called around, they had a hard time finding inflatable.
Okay.
These are, the plan with this was to take them around to the different parks, all the parks, Waller, Shelter, Summit Park, and have events for the community.
but we're buying $30,000 worth of inflatables to try to take all over the county. I'm just, okay,
You wish to discuss that more?
we can
Susan?
if anybody wants to. I mean, and I assume is that trailer that they want to, haul this stuff?
So the trailer that they have now, they're going to use for all this stuff, and the trailer is for what they use for the mowing equipment now that they're mowing all the parks.
But that's the piece of new equipment they want is for this piece of equipment that they're wanting. What's this for?
Yeah, that's the one to haul the mowers and everything, and then their current one they would use for the inflatable.
Does maintenance not have something they could haul, we could
Maintenance-
use? Cause
well,
our,
Maintenance is using theirs whenever they all their stuff on the rail.
I thought most of the. Okay, well,
It's been split up where maintenance is.
maybe we need to rethink that. Good. What's this one? Are we getting quotes on gravel? Are we calling around to get quotes on the gravel?
No, we usually
Okay,
call around.
okay. And the wrestling. Looks like, um. We're going to add more matches for the same price that we've been paying for each match. Is that what I'm saying?
There's one matches at this one, it is.
Do we have a contract for that, that states that we're only paying the $2,000 for 8 to 9 matches? Are we still gonna be able to use the Parks and Rec building for other things?
This is just a one-day event.
Well, why does it say there will be 8 to 9 matches? Oh, matches, I'm sorry. So we're still paying $2,000.
For
Correct.
that one event.
I thought we were gonna look into, I thought I heard somewhere that this guy was gonna start doing it for free like he does in other places.
We are looking at that route, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm opposed to all those. Just me, unless if you guys want to discuss.
When you say all those,
All of the
I'm
requisitions
taking,
that
I'm taking it's the inflatable.
no, well, I'm not for the rock, but I would like for us to see us call around and check the rock price.
What's the rock?
Get under $15,000.
Yes,
I'll make a motion that we approve the vendor list and payment with the correction of the 911 distribution of money.
go ahead, Marcus. I don't know what,
I mean, in my opinion, I think not calling for more than one quote on them bounce houses, I think you
okay,
can find more than one quote.
okay,
I think there's more important things that you can,
that's okay. That's okay. I get your point. I'm saying the same thing. Okay, so what was your motion, Commissioner Treehawk?
To approve the vendor list and payments with the correction of the 911 money distribution of the Wednesday.
Okay, the motion is to approve the vendor list of payments. And well, the 911 is okay. I just had a question. I just wanted to verify.
Into the general fund.
No, it's being transferred from the general fund into the 911 fund, where it should have been in the first place.
I'd like to make a motion also, Susan.
Okay,
My motion would be, to approve everything but the inflatables till we can take a look at bids, cause it totals $30,000, so I think that needs to be looked at.
okay. So the first motion is to approve all the vendor list of payments. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
No.
The second motion was to approve the vendor list of payments with the exception of the bouncy houses,
The inflatable.
The
zone
inflatable,
on
sorry.
Island, yes, ma'am.
the inflatables. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. So now where are we? His motion's approved? Yeah, you stood silent. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Madam President, Sheriff, do you want to revisit payroll change notices? Or do you still want to carry them on?
Well, actually, I should have asked these other questions on the, had. Do we know what, these were requests, I think, from IT for Lightning Technology and Skidmore Digital? No, it's too late now, but I want to know for my own. Because those are pretty large.
You want to explain that, Madam Administrator? Just for the record.
The lightning,
Because I couldn't tell what it was for. From the requisition. It's Lightning Technology and the other one is Skidmore and they're a little over, well, they're almost 14,500, 14,825. No, I didn't bring that one because I looked at those yesterday, or I would have.
I'll find out.
Yeah, it's all right. I just would like to, so if any of you get me the information.
You're working on that.
Offhand, I don't know which requisition without seeing what it is, so that's why I have to pull the requisition, to see what I should put.
Bless you. Poor Johnny.
Oh, so those are for the parking lots.
Or,
First,
No, well, there is a camera in it, but it's, to get the arms and everything on the new. parking lot.
sometimes we need to put a little more information on there so we know what we're approving.
Yes,
It's
those
just
are-
and I think that happens in a lot of departments. We could try to get that fixed. Be great.
How soon do you think we'll be able to start collecting, parking fees for that?
Depending on how soon they can get them installed.
Thank you. That's great news.
Okay, anything else on requisitions, purchase orders, or invoices?
no, ma'am.
Okay, now you had a question.
I just was asking the president, you want to, the sheriff is president, you want to read this table change notices, or do you want to create on the next? Do it.
Well, I think that's something that it doesn't matter to me. But I had ample time to get this discussed.
Send emails. I replied.
I did not receive it.
I replied with Commissioner CC.
Oh, that one he did. He said that this would, actually cause a delay and
Delay and it would negatively impact our judicial systems. And like I said, it's
Was it published anywhere for people to apply?
it wasn't published.
Okay.
The email said, not feeling this position will surely create delays and negatively impact service and office operation.
Did you and Chief Waybright discuss this after Chief Waybright discussed it with Laura?
Yes, so Captain Laddie's over process division. Spoke with both parties. I even spoke with the gentleman, the employee that's retiring. He's, we can't do without a full-time board position.
There's no possible way you can do, you need 4 people
Believe
to
me,
serve.
I asked, because I was looking at either part-time or going away with the position. It's gonna affect family court, judicial process, circuit, and magistrate. It's gonna create delays in process, that's all. I'm just trying to get it filled with a new employee that's a certified police officer.
So we need a certified police
No,
officer in
no,
that
no,
position? I
No,
didn't
it's
think
just
so.
he's qualified.
But we didn't advertise for it.
We didn't advertise.
So what is the process? Do they just gather the paperwork in the morning and then they go out and serve the papers?
Yes.
Like how, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so everything funnels into the process from the judicial system funnels into the process office. It's entered into our record management system.
But they don't do that, right? You have somebody in the
We have
office
somebody
that does that.
But the actual process server, once they serve it, they remove it from the system. So we have a secretary that enters it
they, at the end of their day, whatever they serve, they go in and have to manually remove shed service.
So with this, when we were talking about the budget, this year, one, I know Commissioner Treecost brought up about how much our process budget is compared to other counties. And then in my conversations that I've had, we talked about working towards getting deputy salaries higher. And with that, we were trying to save wherever possible. And that includes with not doing a replacement and a retirement for the process division.
Yeah, but we received the same COLA that everybody else receives, so I didn't figure that that was a continued effort.
I talked to Waybright, and because he met with me several times during the budget,
Right.
and that's our goal is to create.
The next
You guys
budget
got-
or the current goal?
You guys got 3.5% in the current next fiscal year budget,
Right.
which is higher than other employees. And then it's our goal to still keep trying to work toward raising the deputies if possible, which a lot of that.
You all requested that we figure out how to come up to pay your deputies more money
Right.
so that you could compete with other entities. And that requires a larger salary.
But that wasn't completed, I feel like that goal was not for the next fiscal year, that's on future.
Was in your budget request.
Yeah, but was it approved or was that,
I'm sorry,
was
those are
that pay scale approved by the commission or?
At the present, because we couldn't
Right.
see how to financially do it, so for us to look at it financially to be able to do it, then, we have to look at attrition, we have to look at a lot of different things. Our final budget's not till. When do we have to approve the finals for the state? That we actually go by, that we haven't.
So that was already approved. Now,
So, yeah.
come, July, we'll see how our carryover is from this fiscal year.
And then
Your
what we
budget
can
review.
do, but. I guess what we're trying to say is that.
We need a little give and take. I think.
Yeah, I mean, we know what we have and we know where we're at and we
I
looked at the
I respect
best.
that.
And so we're looking at, I mean. We can give you 6 process servers and never give deputies a raise, or we can figure out how to operate on a smaller budget somewhere to give the deputies. I know Susan, I think I'm not speaking for all of us, but I think we'd like to see, if we can give the deputies a raise, but on their base, but it's hard for us to do it. We know now that our assessed values going forward for the next 2 or 3 years are going to be probably where we're at today. And for us to be able to do something, and we're gonna have this same issue, not just with your office, but I think with all the elected officials, that we're gonna have to start looking at attrition to make sure that we keep our employees where they need to be as far as pay goes. And it's
Right.
it's a
The
tough
two-
decision, and it's whether or not, that's why kind of wanted to talk about it before we got to this point today, to sit down and, which I think we'd all still like to talk with you about it to see how we could work on it. And that's why we postponed it and asked for a decision at the next meeting. If that's something that we can do, I think we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, like we said, about 2 to 3 years.
I just don't see.
Right, so that's why I just
The,
figured back.
the state took our oil and gas and decimated, and unless they go and undo it, we're not gonna ever see those numbers come back.
So
And
that's kind of where I was when I decided to do a payroll change. It's like you said, you don't foresee it for 2 to 3 years, so.
but to sit down and look at what you asked, you asked for the most increase as far as base salary went for.
Do you
for your
think we
officers.
don't foresee a reduce for the next 2 or 3 years, or?
No, we're talking about what we bring in, what I'm guessing, what I'm saying is gonna be a less income for the county. And we might have to look at some other areas. I mean, it's not gonna be fun. And that's why we said when we did budget this year that you saw us take away overtime, take away, part-time help. I mean, we had to trim back. And, you just happened to be the first one to,
You know, actually, he's second, Commissioner, because I've already told Commissioner I will not support human resources.
so, I mean, we just have a lot of issues to work out. So if we can sit down and go over more of it, we would appreciate it. That so that we can priorities. I guess that's where we're at. Where the priorities are. Is it that person and everybody's happy with where they're at for going forward? It's not an easy decision for us or yourself, so. So you can live and we can get together and try to get this resolved by the next meeting. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Okay, so we're ready to go to number 6, correct? Exonerations, corrective tickets, joint property applications. It appears that exonerations are the only thing we have under A, correct?
That is correct, Madam President.
Okay. What's the pleasure?
Motion to approve exonerations in Exhibit A.
Motion to approve exonerations as shown on Exhibit A. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 7, consideration of approval of a project fund requisition for the payment of costs associated with the project to be financed from proceeds of the Series 2019 bonds issued for the Charles Point Economic Opportunity Development District, Series 2021 A and B Development District Number 3, White Oaks Project Number 2, and Series 2008A Charles Point Project Number 2, Northland Bay Improvements A through C. Bless you. What's the pleasure?
Move to approve 7A, B, and C.
Motion to approve 7A, B, and C. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 8, review, discuss, consider allowing Hope Gas Inc. permission to the Northern Rail Trail for an access road so they can do an insert of a line that is already under the trail.
Okay, who can tell us why we're giving them an access road, and is this road gonna be put back or?
It's our,
Temporary road?
so they had an emergency issue out there and they requested access. And it's our standard agreement, which we've used with Hope probably 3 to 5 times in the last year, which has remediation requirements that bring it back to where it is when they go out there.
So it's just temporary?
Purely temporary to get in there, fix their line. We've also done crossing agreements with them in the southern section of the trail with the same remediation language. And yesterday, there'll be another one of these soon. The DEP needs access for some borings and some work out there as well. And we're trying to use the same agreement with the federal government as well.
Yeah, I don't wanna leave any way for anybody to access the rail trail and something new that we have a hard enough time keeping people off of.
I understand.
Move to approve.
They're still not off of it.
I know that.
Okay, sorry.
Move to approve number 8 to allow Hope Gas build an access road for work on the rail trail.
Motion to approve Hope Gas
For an access road.
for an access road to insert a line
Mm-hmm.
under the rail trail, northern rail trail.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 9, review, discuss, consider update on Neal hearing. Did they?
My understanding is I know they stayed in the executive conference room last week after the hearing, get things worked out. They're progressing like we wanted them to. I don't think they've filed yet the paperwork in John's office, but as It's my understanding the keys were turned over that day, and you guys just wanted an update on this week's agenda from where they stand.
I'll make a motion that we somehow put a notice out to them. They told us that we would have all that information and that this would all be settled, and if they weren't here, they would have the paperwork here for today's hearing or meeting for us to look at and make sure that it came out the way it was discussed. So I don't know how we go from this point, but they failed to do what they was discussed and approved in the meeting.
I would suggest you all make a motion setting a status conference at your next meeting, which would force them to come in here if they have not finalized their agreement.
Motion for a status conference at our next commission meeting for the Neal hearing.
Motion for a status conference for the Neal hearing on our next county commission meeting, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None motion carried. Review, discuss, consider general order to show cause against delinquent or unprogressed estates. Are these ones that have already been noticed and it's just an order? Or they've been
This
sent?
is the approval so that we can notice them.
Okay,
We still have they can still come in and
Yeah, this is the initial process where they can then come back and say, hey, we need more time, et cetera.
this is for them to show cause why they don't want it to be. What's the pleasure?
move to approve order to administratively close delinquent and unprogressed estates pursuant to provisions of West Virginia Code 44-2-19A.
We're not closing them, are we?
What it says on this top.
This is for a general
This
order.
is for them to
show
come in
cause.
before we close it, give them an opportunity if they want to. Not to close it, if they want to continue it.
This piece of paper says. Order administratively closing delinquent and unprogressed estates. So,
We're not there yet.
so this
That's the
isn't
next
what we're
step.
proving. So this shouldn't have been on the agenda.
The agenda item is review, discuss, consider general order to show cause against the estates which are delinquent or in progress. So John, if that motion is made, you would issue notice and give all these estates the opportunity to come to the commission, correct? Correct.
And then if they don't appear,
Close.
then
And we
we
close.
administratively close them at that time.
Right.
I don't know what you're looking at.
Johnny, can you bring up on our computers?
That's it's the wrong order, but we
See
can
here,
get,
and
we
it
can get,
says that,
we can get the correct order.
and then it says that, everything's been done on the states and that you've already mailed out letters.
Then we have, yes.
That's, I'm okay, I just don't.
Well, then something doesn't mesh.
So you're correct. This is
Yeah.
the order to close them.
But
They
the
have all been
item is
notified
right.
Up to this point that this is going to happen. They've had opportunity up until now to suggest or request that they be open. So we've heard from everybody. We've noticed everybody.
So the agenda item is wrong.
Yeah,
So
this
the-
is to close the estates.
But
We
we
are-
can't do that because that's not the way it was noticed. And
The agenda item's wrong. It should be,
This poor guy down here.
Yeah.
Tried to make a motion, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm making. about.
well,
the,
there's two different things.
I-
This is,
I
I guess
understand.
this already happened. And this is what we need to happen, but
Right,
we can't do it because the agenda item is incorrect. Right?
I would want, there's no
Cause it needs to be,
prejudice or issue with the land.
it needs to be, the agenda item needs to be titled.
I
like
don't
that.
know if anyone needs notified again.
I
I
don't.
mean, everyone
know.
was notified that this would happen
I
today.
get it, but
That's on the list. Understand.
Cause the agenda items to show cause against delinquent or unprogressed, so we can't go ahead and close them based on that, or do you? Or we
no, because it's
postpone
order
it?
to show cause, that's Tracy attorney.
I would want it to say general order to close, to administratively close the estates, and that's not what it says.
Okay, so we're just gonna.
But
We're
that's
just
on the
gonna-
next
Put
meeting.
10 on.
We're
the
gonna
next
make
agenda.
John mad and make him have to, you know,
Wait 2 weeks.
wait 2 weeks, yeah.
Oh, we gotta get it right. It's okay.
Okay. I'll make a motion that agenda item 10 be placed on the next,
Well, actually, it'd be this.
yeah, but for the next meeting, yeah. For to order administratively to close the delinquent and unprogressed estate.
Okay, so the motion is to place on the next commission meeting agenda and order administratively closing delinquent and unprogressed estates to review, discuss, and consider. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. And that could have been in communication too. Seriously. Our office. Number 11, review, discuss, consider resolution authorizing the submission of a proposal to Congressman Riley Moore's office to be considered for funding from the fiscal year 2026 community project funding through its Subcommittee of Agriculture and Rural Development Fund, Building and Facilities for the Harrison County Animal Control.
Hello, good morning. Congressman Riley Moore has released the guidelines for his community project funding requests for the second congressional district here in West Virginia. We are requesting to submit 4 proposals from Harrison County. We're going to propose the animal control building at $3.5 million, the historic preservation for the Quiet Dell School and CCC building at $241,000. We're going to request the interoperable radio networks for volunteer fire departments at over $1 million, and as well as the 30 in-car cameras for patrol cars that are $262,000.
Hey, Christina, I'm motion to approve 11, 12, and 11, 12, 13, and 14. But also, does this include Senate to Senator Capito, because her list came out Friday?
Yes, correct. Her guidelines came out Friday after the deadline for this agenda. We also have 4 resolutions we would like to get proposed for her funding as well. We are going to do the cameras, the CCC building, the radios, and we are going to submit the historic preservation of the elevators and the courthouse as being part of the historic district here in Clarksburg, because the animal control building does not qualify under Senator Capito's requirements.
This will go out to the congressman and to the senator and meet the dates, because there's a deadline.
Correct. Senator Capito's is April 22nd, and Congressman Moore's is actually Friday, but since of the holiday, we're going to do that before tomorrow.
For the record, the only thing that changes is to congressman will be the animal control, to the senator will be the elevators, as the requirement. Okay.
Yes, Senator Capito's are very detailed and very specific about her requirements of her projects.
The barn
funding.
wouldn't fall under,
I'm sorry.
the barn wouldn't fall under that one.
There, under Senator Capito's, there was no recreation, there was no tourism. It was a lot of water, a lot of very specific things that she was asking for in her requirements.
Just thought of something else, but I would say it's not under that, the co-Collins.
Possibly. I can share the requirements with
I
you
don't know how
if you would
guessed that.
like.
It was just a thought that came to my mind, that's all. Okay.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve 11, 12, 13, 14, and to vote strongly, vote individually congressman and the senator, please.
Well, we can't do the one for Shelley Moore, right, Capito today. We have to wait to do
I
that
mean,
because
they're due
these
the-
are, they're
due the
different
20s.
We missed the deadline?
and it's
We
not
went
on
2
the
weeks?
agenda. No.
Her submission is due Tuesday, April 22nd. I mean, we can submit them and do the resolution on the next commission meeting.
We're
We
gonna
can do
submit
it
them and
with
then do the rest.
Yes, that
Okay.
would be the process.
Or would you rather, Trey, we have a special meeting real quick? I don't want to miss a deadline on this. Makes more than a million we'll get you.
But you can go ahead and submit something without,
We can go ahead and submit those applications because there is nothing to be uploaded to those, such as a resolution or any other documentation.
Doesn't require,
Pardon me?
so they don't require a resolution for submittal.
Not at this time, not at this time. So we can go ahead and submit that with your approval. And then, if you want, we can put those resolutions on the next agenda. And that way they can formally get approved and get in the record. And, if the projects are approved, then we'll already have the okay to move forward.
Thank you both very, very much.
Yes.
so we just need to approve 11, 12, 13, and 14, period.
Yes, ma'am.
That's your,
Okay,
okay.
great job.
So the motion is to approve 11, 12, 13, and 14 as stated by Christina Murphy.
Thank you.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Approve the resolution and affix the appropriate signature or signatures. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thanks, girls.
Thank you.
Number 15, review, discuss, consider request to travel for Travis Miller from 911 to go to the Terminal Agency Coordinator class in Charleston, West Virginia on May 19th, 2025. What's the pleasure?
Move to approve travel for Travis Miller for May 19th, 2025.
Motion to approve travel for Travis Miller for May 19th, 2025. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 16, review, discuss, consider request to travel for 911 employees to go to APCO Communications Training Officer 6th Edition course at Preston County 911 OEM on June 2nd through June 4th. That's for Michelle Payton, Bryce Delgado, Micah Love, and Megan Fox.
Are these gonna be up and back or are they staying?
They will travel back and forth in a county vehicle.
Okay. Move to approve travel for 911 employees to attend training Preston County, June 2nd through June 4th. Michael Payton, Bryce Delgado, Micah Love, and Megan Fox.
Just Michelle Payton, right? Not Michael.
I'm sorry, Michelle.
Okay. Motion to.
Apologize for that.
Motion, I can understand. Motion to approve the travel for 911 employees to go to the APCO training in Preston County for Michelle Payton, Bryce Delgado, Micah Love, and Megan Fox, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, motion carried. Number 17, review, discuss, consider request to travel for 911 employees to go to West Virginia GIS conference at Canaan Valley Resort on June 2nd through June 4th. That would be Paul Bump and Steve Martin. They driving back and forth?
No, they would be staying up there.
What's the pleasure?
Motion approved, please.
Motion to approve number 17.
Just the only question I have is that you're gonna have 6 people out the same dates?
Yes.
And
So
that-
Andy's in charge.
So I'm just trying to figure out how that affects the
So they would, come from each
They're
shift,
probably on
so
the
I'm
next
sure
shift.
there's one or two from each shift that's leaving, and then of course Paul Bump is administrative.
Okay. Just seems like a lot of people leaving the office at one time.
But they could be on a different shift too.
And it could be their days off as well, but I promise you, they will not leave the
If
shift
they-
short.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 18, administrators report.
Just want to tell the commission, you got a very nice, thank you card from the ham radio operators for the, air conditioning repair that was done in the DHR building. Also, just want to wish everyone a happy Easter. And that's all I have.
Where are we at with, the roof being replaced?
Roof on the CCC building?
Yes.
Yes, it's done.
It's
There-
done.
One of the buildings is
They're
done.
both done.
Oh, they're both done.
Thank you.
I knew they started
She
last
sent me a
weekend.
picture the other day. So
Okay, I
that's-
just,
Well, one of them sent me a picture.
Also,
the
they have a
reason I know.
security camera put
They
up,
look good.
the security light put up, and we've been cleaning out around the building. We did a ramp. So trying to work,
The one that went across, it was. Right.
trying to work. They have a festival coming up at the end of the month.
okay. All questions I have.
Commissioner, she cost you everything?
The only thing I have, and Marge, work it out with the others, if you do decide to post the human resource job, and I believe it already has been posted, make it an agenda item so we can discuss.
Okay.
That's all I have.
I have nothing. I think I've said enough. So, motion to adjourn. Well, you already had, I thought you were saying, had
I was asking her question. That's all right.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
No,
I'm
go
good.
ahead.
Oh,
No,
I just wanted to point out that today, I think, was a special day for Harrison County and the commission, that we were able to recognize all these groups. They all play such an important part in our community, and any support we can give them, we need to always be there to step up for them. And I definitely, the 911 operators, I just don't think the people understand the pressure that those employees go through, because they're stuck right in the middle of life and death matters on a daily basis. And it's a very stressful job, and I really appreciate what they do. That's all.
you're the best. Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now we're adjourned.